Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and this is not HLF1, it's still Formula Sunday Season 6 Round 11 here in Melbourne for the Australian Grand Prix. Before I get any questions or anything, well, I usually don't get any comments, but before anyone asks or anyone wonders, HLF1 got postponed yet again, so that's why there's not been a video of that, so there is that. But yeah, Australia FS coming at the back of a win in Baku last time out. Not gonna lie, expectations were sort of high. Australia track where it's not the easiest to Oslo overtake, and it's also not the easiest to get right. And I thought I could get a podium in this race possibly if the top runners run over themselves. But I actually got the best lap of my time on my second of 4 runs, and as I'm speaking now, we're already on my best run of the session. Turn 1, I had a massive mistake on my first run, so we're already 8 tenths up on my time. The rest of the lap was okay, but the first lap, or the first turn I should say, was awful on my first run. So yeah, we're just trying to keep with the delta as the rest of the lap was really good, so just trying to match that. We have our teammate Crew right in front of us, also on their second flying lap. There's a Ferrari of, I believe, Kersey in front, giving us way as well. No, Cheesecake, actually one of the reserves. Through this chicane, tricky as ever to get right. Crew actually spins off and loses the wheel and actually retires from the session, so that's unfortunate for him, as he has to start from the back. But we are still 6-7 tenths up on our time, as we actually lost a lot of time in the second sector, but gained it all back through that section of corners, going into the second last corner now, and we're nearly a second up, but our run through the final corner on the first run was actually really good. So we're basically 9 tenths up on our time as we go over the line. We get provisional pole with a 20.2, but that definitely I knew was not going to be enough. Rage Quit is all really quick in there. My third out of 4 runs, I actually went double purple in the first and second sector, but I lost the car similarly to my teammate, and I lost my full front wing. Not out of the session, but I lost my front wing, which meant that I had to pit. And on my final run, I just made a massive mess of turn 1, lost a lot of time as you can see, and just abandoned my run. So again, got my best lap in qualifying on my second run, and that was good enough for P3, second round of the grid, which honestly, I would take, because back in HLF1 season 3, the season beginner, I started 5th and ended up 2nd on the podium, so I still knew that, I have decent race pace around here, and I could still make something work with a 3rd place, a great start. But we are now lining up on the grids and waiting for the lights for this 20, I believe, 7 laps, it could have been 28, I can't remember, of Australia. We're just waiting for the final few cars to line up. They're out there, just waiting for people to ready up, and I was actually mistaken, it was 29 laps, not 28 or 27, but the lights are on, and they're out, lights out, and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix here in Melbourne Park, and we get a decent start. Rage Quit lagged a little bit, as does Harrison. I think that might be my internet, actually, if I think of it. Turn 1 and 2, we got a bit of a shaky exit out of 2, but we still maintain our position, and that's the most important thing. As I've always said, just try to not get any damage, obviously, and try to lose minimal amount of positions, which we have done. We have stuck to P3, and Australia, it's obviously known for being not the easiest tracks to overtake, so if we could just keep track position, that would be absolutely key. And also, if we could stick with, maybe not Rage Quit, but Harrison, the Alpha Tower in front, who I knew I can match for race pace, or at least stay in his DRS. If we could stay in his DRS, we would be really looking good for this race. But lap 1 so far, it's been calm as ever. Kept our P3 position. Harrison in front and Duncan behind, both really quick drivers in this league. Rage Quit is basically going to be uncontested in this race because he is absolutely just insanely quick for the rest of the league. So it's really going to be a battle for second place in this race. If I could get second in it, that would literally feel like a win. because Rage Quit is just literally in another league compared to everyone else. But end of lap 1 now. Rage Quit leads the way, and we are 7/10 behind Harishun, and we were a little bit less in front of Dunkinu. Lap 4 now, and DRS has been enabled, and we are only barely staying in Harishun's DRS. Rage Quit has checked out in front of the field, and Dunkinu is still half a second behind us, so basically it's going to be a fight for P2 between like the Alpha Towers, myself, and Dunk on you. Lap 6 now, we have Dunkinu getting actually really close to us and putting pressure on us, but as you can see there, yep, that's the infamous curb of the quick left right chicane, claiming its first victim in this race. Dunkinu only got some damage there, didn't have to retire. Lap 8 now, we're actually going to pit on the hard tires on this lap, and we are actually in a really not good position because we are in an Alpha Tauri sandwich. You can see Harishun in front, and Meshik is trying to make a move on us, and we just have to defend because I still want a podium at least. And I don't know if I know that Harishun and Meshik could be in Vosha together, so they could sort of try to teamwork, hold me up so that I could overtake, but we're having none of it. Harishun is staying out, as is Meshik, and we are pulling into the pits on lap 8 to go to the end on hard tires. It's a easy one stop from soft to hard. Some people even do soft to medium, but I'm not that good on tire wear. We exit the pits in P11 behind Jean-Luc, and this is just a classical undercut untapped, but as you can see there, we have a virtual safety car, and I just need the safety car to end as quickly as possible, which it is, thank Lord for me, because had it gone on for longer, the Alpha Towers could have got a free pit stop on me, and I would have been 10 seconds or something like that behind them. But the VSC was a short one, and we get going again. End of lap 9 now, and we have Jean-Luc in the Mercedes in front, and Harishun is going to exit the pits right about now. But what you're going to witness here is basically the best overtake I've ever done in my league racing career. We are in the slipstream, and DRS of Jean-Luc, Harishun is exiting the pits, and we go in the middle of the two of them, and we make it work somehow. I have no idea how I pulled that one off, but honestly, that is or was the best move I feel like I've ever done on any league race or any game. I have no idea how I pulled that off, but anyway, we move on. Lap 10 now, Meshik is exiting the pits as well. We have to overtake the Ferrari of Cheesecake. We don't go that inside of turn 1. We barge him out of the way a little bit, which is not really nice from me, and I apologize to him after the race. We are all fine. Don't have to worry about that, but yeah, that was a little bit rude of me. Lap 12 now, and Harishun, who's actually gone for soft tires, so he's on a 2-stop in this race for whatever reasons. He's really quick, and at the time, I didn't realize I should just basically let him go. So I'm trying to defend against a soft runner. He goes deep into turn 3, we just switch back on him, and we keep P2, but honestly, I didn't realize at the time Meshik was 2 seconds behind. Had we let Harishun go, he was gonna pit anyway, so we are just literally losing time to Meshik now. I realized it in now, lap 13, but it's a little bit too late. Harishun goes by, actually costs us time in turn 1, which means that we're basically going to be in Meshik's clutches now, which is not what I needed, and honestly, this was poor decision making by me in this race. Lap 17 now, and Meshik is right behind us, as Harishun is actually not even making that big of a gap. He only has 2.3 seconds on us, which he needs to have a lot more, in like 23 seconds to make a pit stop and come out in front of me. And Meshik is trying to go for a move around outside. I'm not having any of that, defending nice and easy, and he has no chance to overtake me through that section of corners, so that is very nicely defended by me. However, going a bit forwards on the same lap, I have a poor run through the chicane, can't get a traction down for whatever reason, and Meshik has an incredible exit, and he's actually going to overtake me going into the quick left-right chicane. However, I'm trying to get DRS back on him so I can maybe do a move back on over him, as we're now trying something round his outside, and round outside of this corner should make it work, but we get yeeted wide into the gravel trap, and let's actually have a look at what happened there on both mine and Meshik's POV. So you can see there, I'm alongside, and I'm turning into the corner. I squeeze him a little bit, and I feel like that's nothing else but a lag hit. So yeah, unfortunate for me, but I think I did squeeze him a little bit too much there, but still, it wasn't really nice. But I think it was more likely lag involved than anything else. Harrison is also pitting at the end of this lap as well. He's going on to medium tires, so now go to the end of this race. Harrison actually confirmed after the race that he didn't mean to go on a 2-stop, but his engineer, his Jeff, put him on a 2-stop strategy, so that was really unfortunate for him. Lap 21 now, and we're actually gaining on Meshik again, so we are maybe trying to overtake him again. Lap 24, and with half the gap that it was 3 laps ago, but unfortunately we have one more 3-second penalty than him, so even if we overtake him, which lap 25 we're getting really close to doing that, we have to get 3 seconds on him, which with the DRS rates, he could just chill behind us in the 1-second window. I know he has some damage, but I don't think it's going to be enough, even if I'm going to try to go for a move right here, as I'm going to dive it down inside in the 4th last corner, nice and easy, shove him a little bit wide, but nothing too bad in there, and we get the move done, and that was basically, well, as I thought in the race, revenge for what happened a few laps ago, because at the time I thought that Meshik just eating me wide, but having a look at both POVs, I think that it was me squeezing him a little bit too much, and then lag involved as well. But still, it felt nice to get ahead of him again on track at least. So now we have 4 laps to go. I don't think we can get 3 seconds on him, as we got a bit of a poor run into turn 2, or through turn 2, I should say. And Meshik is actually gaining again, who's maybe trying to look for a move around the outside into turn 3, which I'm not going to let him do that. And lap 29 now. We are out of Meshik's DRS, but the gap is only 1.4 seconds, so there's no way we're going to keep this P2. Rage Quit has won this race by 32 bloody seconds. Holy moly, he's quick in this race. But we finish P2 on the road. Unfortunately, that's not going to stand as we get pushed down to P3, but still, it's another podium. 3rd podium of the season for me, 2nd in a row, and a 4th podium for the team. So, you know what, I'm happy with this race. We extended the lead over Red Bull for 3rd place in the Constructors. There's no way I'm catching Williams and or Alpha Tauri in the Constructors Championship, but me and crew did well here to get as much points as possible to even extend the lead to Red Bull in Constructors, and that's what I'm really going after now, because why the hell not? Here are your final race results. Rage Quit wins in front of Meshik, and if I can see the gaps, 31.8 seconds. If that's not dominating, I have no idea what it is. Ourselves, P3, and crew, actually, a really, really good shot by him to come from P16 and last to P7. So, a really good recovery by crew. And Red Bull's only got 2 points, so we extend the gap by a massive amount. Only trying to solidify P3 in Constructors, but there's still 3 races to go, so anything can still happen. And the next few rounds, I believe, are Spa, Spain, and Mexico, which literally all of those tracks are not really good for me. But yeah, we shall see what we can or cannot do in the end of this season. However, this has been it from me, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. And next one, again, should be H1F1 Japan, but I have no idea what's going on in that league. But this has been it from me. And yeah, have a nice time, have a nice day, wherever you are. And goodbye.